It's Nicole and I'm here via my new scrap room. I won't show you my scrap room today, but it's coming soon. I just need to get a few more things kind of set up, and even this right now is temporary. I just took my old desk that I had in my old house and brought it here because we didn't have time to set up my new desk, but that's coming soon. I'm hoping that we can get that started next weekend. Today is, I believe we're the 24th or the 25th. We're Tuesday. This will probably go up today if I can get it ready and get up on YouTube, because it's been a while since I've uploaded a video. Now, I need to do an assignment today that was due last week, and I just didn't even have a desk, so I couldn't get it done. But I haven't scrapbooked in so long that I thought, well, maybe just, try to get a quick page out and then kind of get your kind of mojo happening again, because it's been a while since I scrapbooked, at least a couple of weeks. So, I just grabbed some photos that I had out because my pictures are not even out yet. I'm hoping to do that, like I said, next weekend. It's kind of a catch-20 because I can't put away stuff that the things aren't built, but I can't, anyway, I can't scrap until I have that stuff. So my husband is slowly building my containers. We're getting there. So now, what are we going to start with? I have these two pictures that was taken last summer, and it was there's a place here called Trigo. We didn't go this summer. I wish we would have went, but it was a crazy summer. So next summer we'll go again, and it's just this course that you need to do, and you're literally like one point you're 70 feet up in the air, and you're all on these just pieces of wood, and this is dangling by two ropes, and other ones are just like a platform, and it swings back and forth, and a lot of fun. It takes about a couple of hours to do, and we did it, my husband, Josh, and myself, and we even did like the hardest course. They call it the black course, and it was super difficult, but we managed to get it done. Now, like I said, this kind of stuff is everywhere, and as I'm unpacking stuff, I'm really dividing things up. So it's taking me a little longer than just shoving things into, like drawers and stuff. So, but last night I opened a box that I'm going to put away after I'm done this video and my assignment. And it was, do you remember the page kits that I had done way back last March? I think I started January, February for the Get It Scrap Calvin ball. And these are some of the leftovers. As I had gone to a crop, and as I was finishing stuff, I like to put everything in one sort of baggie. And I'm like, hey, let's go through this and see if I can get a page done with what's left in here. Now, I saw these letters and I thought they're nice and big, so I'm going to spell Trigo with this. And then we're going to go through this together and try to find some stuff that I can use on this layout. And I thought while I was, going through this and figuring out what I can use, is I can kind of give you a little update on what's been going on. So we are moved in to our new house. We moved in on October 6th. It took us all weekend to, 4 or 5 days to get moved in. We kind of took our time. We're not getting any younger, so we took our time to move everything in so that we wouldn't, injure ourselves and everything. And I ended up injuring myself after the fact. Just this past, it might have been how do you say that? Just sort of an abuse to your back. But last Saturday I had to work, and all of a sudden my back just went, and yeah, in a lot of pain. So I went yesterday, and I think she kind of coaxed it back to not being so painful. But I couldn't even stand for any amount of time. Like the pain was just like, ugh. And that's why a lot of people ask me, like, why do you scrap standing up? And that is one of the main reasons, is because of my back. But it's been pretty good for the last few years, and it just kind of, anyway, kind of gave out there. And so that's why in this new room I was going to do 2 sitting area and 1 stand-up area, but I decided on 1 standing area and 1 sitting area, so that I have more room to put those recollections containers stacked up high. And also I need a place to put my sewing machine and my silhouette and that kind of stuff. So I need flat surfaces that I'm not used for anything else. So I decided to have 1 and 1, and that'll be fine. And my typewriter, I need a place for my typewriter. So we'll go through this, and I think I decided to kind of go with yellow. Just because when I saw those alphas, that's kind of what decided it for me. So we'll just go through this and find everything that's yellow. I might do yellow and blue. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yellow and aqua, maybe. What's this? Yeah. Let's bring some of that in. I like to always choose 1 or 2 colors and then kind of go with that. So, and I got lots of options in here. One of the things that I'm doing is, like, I kind of took a drawer and I said, okay, that's where all my die cuts are going. And same thing with, you know, buttons are in one place and enamel dots are in another place. And then once everything's all separated, then I might find another way to store my embellishments. I think I'm going to go by color, because I'm a scrapper that scraps by color. Like, very rare do you see me putting a layout together that has like multi use of color. I usually pick 1 or 2 colors and I go with it. So it only makes sense to have my embellishments stored that way. So, wow, there's a lot of stuff in here. So this is the kind of stuff that I'm sitting down and I'm literally separating. So I never did have a bin for scraps, which now I'm going to. So I'm going to have a spot where I'm going to keep my scraps. So that's another thing, you know. But right now what I'm doing though is I'm just kind of putting all my scraps all together. Like, I'm not dividing them. I'm just putting all my scraps together. And then once, like I said, once everything's all pretty much all taken out of the boxes, then I'll worry about taking each area and then really separating and stuff. So kind of decide to add a little bit more aqua in there, eh? There's way more aqua in here than there is any other color, so. There, so I am officially on all days right now, and it's going to be for 7 months. So that's already, like, it started last week. And already I've noticed a bit of difference this whole time off. Like, I was up at 7:30 every morning and not sleeping in till like 12, 1, which normally is what I did because my body was just so exhausted. And so I'm already noticing, like this morning I was up at 7:30. And while my husband and my son were still home, I read for a bit, which I hadn't read in quite a bit. Like in September, I read 9 books. And now in October, I have 2 books read. Just because we've just been, you know, unpacking. And so I read a couple of chapters this morning. I'm on my 3rd book. I'm almost done. I think I have like 100 and some pages left, so I'll probably finish it tomorrow. So I read for a bit until they were basically out of the house, and then I got up and for 2.5 hours I cleaned the house, washed, you know, all the bathrooms and the showers and all that stuff. And I'm doing some laundry right now. And I don't know if you've been following me for a bit, I said, you know, my favorite thing is going to be to have a new washer and dryer. And I can tell you, man alive, do I ever love them. Laundry gets done like that. And I mean, there's always laundry. Don't get me wrong, right? That's one thing. Laundry, it's like a forever thing, but it's so much easier to do now. Okay, so let's take this back and we'll put everything back in here. And then we'll start this page. This is the kind of stuff that I usually do, you know, sort of off camera, but I thought it'd be fun to do on camera. So this is sort of like, you know, stash, just kind of way more concentrated because it was something that I had used to do a whole bunch of page kits. And I think this is what a lot of the leftovers that I had from one of that crop, not Crop and Create, but the other one that I went to. Those are the leftovers from that weekend. Because as I was using the pages, I was putting all the leftovers in here. That's another thing too. I was supposed to go to a crop on October 14th, 15th, and 16th, and we had just moved in like the week before, and my stuff wasn't even out. Like I couldn't. We just still had so much to do that weekend. We're not even close to being ready. I mean, it's livable now, right? We have my son's room is all set up. We made sure he was set up within, well, we did that the weekend that I would have gone to the crop. So he needed a new desk. So we got him his new desk. It was, you know, his birthday present because his birthday was on the 21st. So that was his birthday present. And we told him part of his Christmas present too, because it was not a cheap desk. And, but it's a good one, so he can keep it like forever, right? And his bathroom, everything was all set up pretty much that second weekend. His mirror and all this stuff. Now us, and his closet organizer, now for us, everything just got done this weekend, which is the weekend of the 21st, 22nd, 23rd. I'm having a coffee. So that's finally in. So we are able to start putting our clothes away. So I got quite a bit done yesterday, But again, because it was his birthday, I want to make him a birthday meal. So I made spaghetti, which takes, you know, a couple of hours to do. And then I made him a birthday cake. I couldn't make it on his birthday because I was working the next day. He was working that night, and he was working on the 22nd. So I did it, I was thinking maybe on that, but I think I'll go with white. And then I was working on the Saturday, so I couldn't do anything there too. But so I did it yesterday. Just wondering if I could put something in the background. Maybe yellow and blue. A lot of my stuff is out now, but I do have to go to another part of the room to get it. Okay, so the first thing I got was gelatos. So that's what we're going to use. A little bit of yellow. And there's not a lot of option in this one. Let's see, that's not even the same blue, so I don't want to do that. I'm introducing another color. Let's just do yellow. I'll just do a light yellow for now. And then I'll decide if I want to do anything else. Okay. I didn't know if I knew where my water bottle was, but I do. It's just to get used to this new room too, where I know I'm the one putting the stuff away, but I still don't know where half the stuff is. It's going to take a bit of time, I think, to get used to it. So I'm going to just cut this down a little bit. I think I might mount it on a piece of cardstock or something, or maybe some pattern paper. We will see. There we go. I might just be, how about, see, that's where the blue would be nice. I see this peeking over here. That kind of matches, so maybe I can do a little bit of yellow. I think I'd like it a little snugger. 2 pictures. Okay. Still get the idea that it's nice and high. Okay, so all the papers that I wish this was bigger. How about this one? Yeah, I like that one. It's definitely big enough. Okay, let's do that. There we go. do it this way. Yeah. So this paper is from Echo Park. It's Creative Agenda by Caitlin Schaefer. What year is that? 2014. Oh my goodness, yes. As I'm putting stuff away, holy moly. There's some stuff that I have, it is so old. Like we're talking 2007, 2006. Like super old. And you know what? I'm looking at it like, hey, I love that. I love that paper. So how I'm organizing stuff is the old paper. I'm organizing by color. And then the newer stuff, like let's say the Amy Tangerine and Dear Lizzie and Maggie Holmes and all that stuff. That stuff I'm sorting by manufacturer. So I'm keeping all the Dear Lizzie stuff together and all the Amy Tangerine stuff together and all that stuff. So for now, and then we'll see. I'll see how that works and if I like it, and then we'll go from there. But for now, I seem to like that. Okay, didn't I have a scrap of this? Yes. Okay. So let's measure that. About 1 3/4, so 1 1/2. By 3 3/4 about. Too wide? Is that good? Okay, so let's do a little wider than 1 1/2. Let's do 1 3/4, 4. Then we can decide, or I can decide which one I like better. Or I don't know. So we'll keep both of them handy. Okay. Now, let's get some of these scraps here and see how we can figure this out. Maybe I'll do like mostly blue or aqua and then accent with the yellow. I could do that. So then my punch of color would be the yellow. I'm so glad that I got one of those mats from Costco. They don't have them anymore. They have different ones, but I don't like them. But I'm glad I got the one that I got. I showed it in a previous video. I really like it. It really is easy on the back for sure. When I went to for a massage yesterday. I walked in kind of hobbling. Oh man, I was in pain. And walked out still kind of not walking straight, but much better. And today's a little better than, much better than yesterday. Still not 100%, but a whole lot better. Okay. There we go. I still haven't found the rest of my Tim Holtz distress sinks though. I have the one I need for today, so I'm gonna go looking for that. I think I know where it is, but because what I did was, if there was stuff for my desk, I call it desk unpack now, and I saw the box, I just didn't bring it up. I didn't listen to my instructions. I knew I wasn't gonna scrapbook for a few days, so just kind of focused on getting as much as I could unpacked and stuff. So I went and got some more wax paper. So this is the kind I got. I just, whatever was cheapest. So it's Reynolds Cut Right wax paper. And voila. Because that, I didn't know where it was a while back. So I was like, okay, well, you might as well get some new stuff. And once I find the other stuff, well, I'll just deal with it then. It's not going to go to waste. For sure. Okay. Oh, I hate that when it does that, when it separates. Ugh. I think I want to say, let's go. Or let's do it. Or let's do this. Maybe I don't want it all in big letters though. Okay, let me see. What if I say just this? Or just do? I don't know. I can put let's do this. Okay. And then I can take these little letters. Yeah, well, I shouldn't say I'm way closer to the road because I'm about the same distance, but now I'm at an intersection, so you seem to hear it more. When we went to the bank just to say, okay, now, you know, you're in, your payments are going to start. She said, so is there anything that you would change? And there is one thing that I would change. There's no door to my craft room. It just goes right downstairs, and I'm afraid that's going to get super loud. So I think after Christmas, we'll, I don't know, maybe get a quote on how much it would be to get a door put in there. Maybe one of those doors, pocket doors. So shouldn't be too much. I mean, it's just a little wall, and so we will see, because it opens up right to downstairs. Like, I'm right above the garage, but I'm also like off the living room. So I'm afraid that when they're just walking around the house, it's going to be loud. Like a few minutes ago, the washer and dryer stopped, and like you heard the dee-dee, 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 like it was like right next to me. It's like, oh no. It's not bad if, you know, like today I'm home by myself, and so that's okay. But I just know that eventually, soon, I want to do some live stuff on Google Hangout, and so that has to be different times of the day so that, you know, kind of everyone can join, and it's, you know, if it's loud here, that's not fun to hear the dog going and, you know, that kind of stuff. So I have to work on that and figure out how we're going to fix that. But it's minor. It is minor. Ah. Feels good using some scraps. Although, I have to say, after unpacking what I've unpacked, and not just unpacking, but packing, yeah, I'm going on a spending freeze, and it's going to be a long one. I don't need any more stuff. Definitely not for a long time. Long time. So I think I'm going to put, let's do this, and then Trigo, I'm going to put it on top of the picture. Now I just want to do something to the background, just kind of subtle. Just with, where did I put that? And there it is. There's this one, which is kind of bright. I have another one out. There it is. This one's a little bit more muted, so I think that's what I'm going to go with. And then once all this is down, then I'm going to start putting some yellow just as an accent, so it's really bright. Now, am I gonna, I think I'm gonna do it here. Okay, and what I might do is, I see that although it wasn't nighttime, I'd like to do the clouds, but I didn't put any gesso on my page either. Okay, let's glue this down. Okay. Then I can move it and do a little bit to the background. Not too crazy, just something, just so it has some texture a little bit. Okay. I love this paper. It's from Simple Stories, I believe. And it was all a package that was just different colors, but all like grids and that kind of stuff. Grids on one side and wood grain on the other. Really love that. Okay, so now I can move this. I can kind of have an idea. So I'll just do maybe a little bit here. There. Let's use some packaging. I'll just put the alphas in. I have some bags for my alphas. So I'll just put them in there. I won't put them back in here. So it's all good. Maybe right there. Okay. Now, do I have a brush? I'm sure I have a brush somewhere. Can do too is I know I have some stuff over there too, some sprays and stuff. Pretty much have all my sprays out. I think I'm going to move them, but just took them out so that I could I have one Raskog that I bought quite a bit ago, like a year and a half ago. I bought two and only set up one, and then I just bought another one, so now I have 3 Raskogs. So I just have to put them together and then kind of use them. So I think that's where I'm going to put all my sprays and stuff. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of this modeling paste, I believe it is, yeah, texture paste from Heidi Swap. It's mint in color. And I'm going to use this palette knife. There. I might have to turn the recording off for a bit while that modeling paste kind of settles and dries. So the yellow just kind of reminds me of the sun, even though I didn't make it in the form of a sun, right? Still, it's kind of sunshine coming through. And then now I'm going to do a couple of clouds. Not too worried whether it's in there. Cool. Yeah, I'll do the other one here. Excuse me. Okay. And part of cloud there. I don't know if I have enough or no. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll finish this and then I'll let it dry by itself. I always like the look of it better when it dries by itself than if I try to use the heat gun on it. It shrinks it. go. That's that. So we'll let that dry between the mist and the modeling paste. I'm just gonna right away clean it off with this though. Okay, I'm back. So this is now dry. It's been actually a couple of hours and it was just perfect. As I was finishing off that, my phone rang, and anyway, I had a bunch of stuff that I had to get done. So we got that done, and my goodness, there's a stuff to do. Always stuff to do. I can't wait to be in here and that, you know, it's all caught up on everything and I got nothing to do. So the day is coming, the day is coming. But I go back to work tomorrow and then I do 4 days, and then this will be sort of like the first rotation that I actually like work 4 days and I have 5 days off. So, oh, I can't wait. I'm due to get my 5 days off and not be interrupted by, you know, I had to work on Saturday because, I mean, this guy had worked for me so that we could work, so we could move. So, I mean, it was amazing when we needed to move. So I was really thankful for that. So I was repaying him back on Saturday when I worked, but I'm glad that the regular rotation is coming back. and just be working that and getting into a routine because the body needs it right now. So I'm going to finish this layout, and then I still have to do my assignment, which I have no idea what I want to do. I still have no idea. I'll try to get it all done today, and if I can't, maybe I can just do a little bit every night until I get it done. What I've been doing is when I work days, I usually unpack at least one box, and then on my days off, I unpack like, you know, 10, 15 boxes in a day, if not more. Now today, I haven't unboxed anything yet because I had to get the house cleaned up and then get this done. Try to get this done. And then once I'm done this, I think I'm going to have to go and get supper on, which it shouldn't be too bad because yesterday I made spaghetti sauce. So today, all I got to do is I'm going to make lasagna. So I'm just going to use my spaghetti sauce, and so it'll be just about done. I don't have to do too much because I did all the work yesterday. I just got basically put it together. So that's kind of nice. I have kind of two titles. Let's do this. So yeah, I couldn't go to my weekend away. It would have been too much. And plus, I didn't even know where my stuff was. Like, nothing was unpacked. So it was good to just, we kind of got a bunch of stuff done here. It's hard because during the week, after working all day, you kind of don't want to do anything else. So we're not doing big stuff during the week. And then on the weekend, just go, 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 and we don't stop. So by the end of the weekend, we're like, oh, I'm so tired. But that's all part of moving, right? Okay, so I'm going to put it right on top of the picture, I think. You still kind of get, it's mostly for the stuff that we had to wear there. The gear. Oh, all the the glue came off. And my other glue fell on the floor. Get that. There. Actually, what I might do is just put some of this instead. Oh, is this empty? It's pretty much empty, I think. Yeah. Oh well. I'll just put glue and we'll commit. Just commit. I'll just make sure I'll back up because I won't be able to move my tea once I put it down. There we go. There. Here we go. All right. So I might use some more of these. And then there's little enamel dots that I have left over. Kind of like that little fox too, because that's exactly what we felt like doing after we were done. Was just go snuggle up somewhere and sleep. It was quite the demanding little like trail or whatever it's called. And we were done. We were done. At the end, we had brought bottles of water with us, but that day was like, it was ridiculous. Like it was like in the 30s, which I guess in Fahrenheit, that would be like in the hundreds, like 100 or 101 or something like that. And we had brought 4 bottles of water, but I can tell you they were gone like lickety split. They were gone super fast. So when we got back at the beginning, it was like we bought 3 bottles of water, 1 for each of us. And it was like just sucked them right back. And then on the way home, we stopped at McDonald's because they had their, in the summer, they have their pop for like $1 and you can get like the mega one. So we got the extra large and we each got one of those, like Sprite. And then we downed all of those. It was like, oh my goodness, we were super dehydrated. Like it was insane how warm we were. Okay, so I got an embellishment cluster here. I'm kind of thinking of moving it over here maybe. Let me see. The dot stayed there. Yeah, so it was super hot, but it was a beautiful day. And when we went, there was a whole bunch of kids that were like young kids that were starting the trail. And we're like, oh, we're gonna, I mean, awesome that they, you know, be active or whatever, but we're like, oh, we're gonna be, if we're behind them, it's gonna be so slow because they were little, right? They were like 7 or 8 or whatever. But they had it so well organized. They said, you know, all the adults go first because they knew that they were gonna be a little slow and kind of slow down the process kind of thing. So we were just booting it, and the people that were in front of us was a couple also, and they were just booting it. And then we had a bunch of young girls behind us, and they were just okay. So the phone rang again. It was for Josh's driving instructor. He's got a session today, so I was just confirming with him where we need to pick him up after and all that jazz. So that's all done. I'm trying to get him to get his license and stuff, and It's when you throw with everything else that's going on, right? It's kind of crazy. But we'll get it all done. We'll get it all done. And then it's grad year. Oh, we had to order a bunch of stuff there for his grad stuff, and so we got that done over the weekend. Just trying to get one thing done at a time. One thing done at a time. And then just knock one thing off the list at a time. If the house wouldn't have been delayed, then I think it would have made it a little easier, but the delay that we got kind of put a damper. But we're in now, so that's all that matters. We'll get stuff done eventually. There. So I think I'm going to finish this layout, and then I'm going to go, I think I'm going to read for a little bit, kind of chill. I haven't chilled all day. This is my last day off before I have to go to work. So I'd like to have a little bit of time for myself, I guess. I mean, scrapping is for myself too, but I'm standing up. I'm not sitting down, and my back is still not at 100%, so I need to give my back a rest. And while I'm reading, I think I'm going to be thinking about what I'm going to do for that page I got to do for my assignment. And then I'll get supper ready, and then I'll work on my assignment. And if I get it partially done today and finish it tomorrow, I'll be happy. I'll try to finish it today though. That's going to be the goal, is to finish it today. There, so I'm just kind of taking stuff left over and trying to, there's stars, so I'm just going to put a little star there because that's what was left. Just trying to use up a little bit of stuff here and there. A little bit of stickers. That doesn't really go. Let's see if there's anything else I could stick on this. Little arrow. We like arrows. We like arrows. Here we go. Let's go. It was super fun, but it was super demanding. I would do it again. Will do it again. No problem. But this summer we just didn't have the time. But yeah, I totally want to do that again. So circle, circle. If I could find something else with a circle, that would be awesome. Okay. I like this one, but it's kind of big. I just like the light bulb. It's like, yeah, bright idea. Whose bright idea was this? Actually, it was mine. But we had fun. And then when we stopped, there was like an ice cream stand. So we bought water and we bought ice cream too. And we just devoured that cold ice cream. It was so good. So good to have that nice cool ice cream. So there's only 2 enamel dots left. So let's try to use that. I think I'm going to put it down here. Yeah, I like that better. And then just put the there, done. Another package done. I'm going to go look for some yellow spray or yellow ink of some kind to make some splattas. Ooh. Maybe I've got some here. And got some. This is some of the stuff that I want to get so that I have it in my Rascog, so that I can just wheel it to me when I'm doing a page. But they're not put together yet, so they're just kind of sitting on top of containers right now. Those recollection containers. So they're just sitting on top, just so I can get access to them. Actually, I think I have a couple of boxes too of sprays that are just sitting there waiting until here. A little bit of blue, a little bit of yellow. Over here a little bit. There. Just a little bit. Now, I think I want to cut this down a little bit and mount it on some blue cardstock, just to kind of ground it. I am going to do a, once my scrap room is done, I'll do a tour of how I have everything set up. Excuse me. I'm hoping, like I said, this coming weekend, that we can start working on my desk. And then once my desk is in, it should be easier to put stuff away. I got my husband to haul in just an old table, like a fold-up table, so I can easily put stuff away, because sorting stuff on the floor, sitting on my butt, it got hard on the back real quick. So now I have a table and I have a chair, and then I can sort stuff. I'm just, like I said, the older patterns I'm sorting by color. The newer patterns, and I mean, like, it can be like 4 years old and it's still newer, because some of the stuff that I found is extremely older stuff. So like all the Dear Lizzie, the Amy Tangerine, the Maggie Holmes, all that I'm going to keep by manufacturer. Like, I'm going to keep it together, whether it's the same collection or not. I know the style of papers that are in there, so if I feel like, scrapping with Maggie Holmes paper, well, then I'll have a spot where I keep all the pattern papers for that. And then the embellishments, though, I'm going to divide by color. Okay, now, do I have a pen? Like I said, I've unpacked quite a few things. So I'm just going to do a little bit of journaling. I'm not going to say much. Just going to put This course was super fun, but it was a challenging afternoon. The weather was gorgeous, but it dehydrated us very quickly. And when you went, they made sure, like, make sure you bring water because it's a super hot day and it can be, you know, dangerous if you don't have water and all this stuff. So, like I said, we had 3 or 4 bottles, but they were gone like, oops, super quickly, super quickly. And we tried to ration it. You know, we had some till the very end, but at the end we were just like taking little sips to kind of make it last. Okay, so I'm just gonna outline just because I feel like it. Sometimes you just feel like the page isn't done and you just want to add a little something. Okay. Awesome. And I think I'm going to do all the way around. I'm not going straight, and I'm okay with that. There. Just like double framing it. I know adding that blue cardstock really helped, but I just want to add a little bit more. There we go. Now, just gonna put a little X here and here. Just kind of finishes it off. There. I even have it journaled. Oh, yes. Once I'm in and I have all my pages that I need to journal, I'm going to stack them up and show you how many I have that I need to put in albums and I need to journal on. It is ridiculous. So that's one thing I want to try to do is, oh, it's okay, is journal as I do the pages, because I don't want to have to do this again where I have to do a whole bunch, because that's going to be a focus that I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure I get that done shortly after I'm all set up. I'm going to work on putting pages in albums. So I'm just going to put July 2015 so I know what month and year this was taken. And that's it. That's going to complete this layout. So thank you so much for joining me, and we'll talk soon.